What's good, everyone, and welcome back to the channel as we have your instant reaction of the Chiefs going into Vegas and getting a solid 41-14 blowout victory over the Raiders. But before we dive into any of that, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video as we will keep you up to date on all the latest NFL news and rumors and give you instant Chiefs reactions throughout the whole season. And I will also get you up to date on any hot NFL games throughout the year as well. But without further ado, let's dive into this right here. So yes, the Chiefs did what I've been waiting for them to do for probably 9 weeks of the season because they were solid. Their offense looked pretty solid like for the first 3 weeks, even though a couple of those were L's. But then they had like this struggle stutter point in the last 3 weeks where they combined for only 36 points in 3 weeks together. And that's not like the Chiefs offense we're used to. When you see 36 points, that's something they usually average throughout the year, but that's something that they totaled through 3 weeks, so that was kind of odd, and we were hoping to see this kind of offensive explosion, and we finally got it. We got it in prime time. Mahomes looks like he's back to being what Mahomes does best, and honestly, it was great to see. And let's actually take a quick rewind because let's go through the standings as well. Because if you guys did take a quick glance at my AFC playoff prediction video, which if you haven't, it will be listed down below. But everything that I said actually happened, and I'm actually kind of excited it did because a lot of people think I'm crazy when I go talk about my Chiefs and things like that because it's coming from a fan's perspective, and you kind of got to pull out everything aside because a fan could just be, one-siding with his team and everything like that. But I try to take that aside and try to vision what the team actually is, and realistically I thought everything could happen like this, and it did. And I still think they could run the table, even though I do have them losing to Dallas next week, and I might have to take a deeper dive into this because Dallas did get a huge victory this week as well. They rebounded from their huge loss against the Broncos, so this is going to be another tough contested battle going back to Arrowhead. But let's see if KC can keep the trend as well with their offense. If Mahomes is still clicking like the way he is, then they're hard to beat. Nobody can beat them, but they got to develop that week in and week out. It can't just be a 1 week thing. So we got to see if that offense keep that trend. But we have seen something that has been a trend, and it's been the defense. They've held another opponent under 20 points as well, which is crazy. The defense has become the strong point for this team, which is something we never thought we would say. Definitely in this point and this far in the season when we're more than halfway through it. The offense is what usually carries this team, but now this defense is like combining well, and if an offense can put 40 points, the defense can hold any team to 14, ooh, this team going to be really, really scary in the future. But as I did mention, the Chargers, they took the L to the Vikings, the Broncos took an L to the Eagles, and then the Chiefs, first place was on the line, prime time, and they showed the West still belongs to them, which it wasn't even a battle like that. The only thing was in the beginning where it could have went really iffy and sideways real quick, but to capitalize on it was Mike Hughes had an unfortunate fumble return on a great punt return too, because it looked like he could have returned it, but it's got to hurt when a punter causes your fumble. But he gonna hear that in the locker room definitely, but something to laugh about since you had a big win. But that could have flipped the game really quickly too, because I think Casey, it was 7-7 or like 7-0, and that could have changed the story real quickly, and the Raiders could have got quick grasp. But I think the defense stood their ground, and they held them to a 3-and-out, and Casey got the ball again real quickly, and they were just like firing on all cylinders as well. The only thing that they did struggle was their first possession of the drive, which they went 3-and-out right away. A lot of fans, including myself, was like, "Oh man, this is not the game to do it. Let's not have a defensive battle. Let's hope the offense clicks." And then, of course, the next drive, they go down the field and they do their thing, and then they just seem on rhythm as well. Another mishap and miscue, which we don't see too often as well, was Bucker missed, I want to say, a 40-yard field goal. We're not used to seeing that, but we do know he can do that. Like, it's either he gets lazy with his kicks or whatever, and he thinks it's just automatic, and it hooked a little left. But usually when Bucker misses kicks, we win too. So I can't be really too mad about that. But that's not a trend I want to see as well either. But diving deeper, I want to go to the Raiders side in perspective because I think this is 3 in a row they dropped. And I always say this, the Raiders tend to do this every year. But this is like a different type of situation they're going through. Of course, the off-the-field incidents is probably what's dragging this team down a lot. And this is a very, very talented squad, and I hope they don't free fall like too crazy because I think they can still be a wild card team. And honestly, the division's still in play too. KC's just up one game, but next week they play another team who's struggling as well in the Cincinnati Bengals, and they both would desperately need wins because Bengals are coming off of 2 losses. They had a bye week, and the Raiders are now coming off of 3 losses. So if either one of those teams want to keep their playoff hopes alive, it's going to be an interesting matchup. And man, whoever loses that game, that's a game they don't want to lose. I just know that in general. And as for KC, like I mentioned, Dallas will come to them. And one thing I'm really looking forward to see is the defense, because people would say, is the defense really like legit? Because they played a Jordan Love with the Packers, so you would say that's easy, that's stoppable. And then the Giants too as well when they stopped them on Monday night. And then the Raiders, they come in, they're fully healthy. Of course, they're missing a piece without Henry Ruggs and then coaching and all that, but still, they're still a solid, like, explosive offense. And one thing I love to see was Tyrann Mathieu lock down Darren Waller, which is a task in its own because he's a dominant wide receiver, not a tight end, like a wide receiver. He plays the tight end as a wide receiver, same as Kelsey. And to take him away, and then they had to depend on either a Renfrew or an Edwards, which aren't their primary targets, is something that the Chiefs executed very well. And also, speaking back on the offensive side, Travis Kelsey looked like the Travis Kelsey of old too. He mentioned he had a swagger back, and that's exactly what it looked like. He was making his nice little juke moves and things like that. He was actually catching a lot of balls too, which he tends to drop a ball every game. He did drop a ball in this game, but it didn't really matter because he had like 9 catches for over 100 yards. But it was good to see his movement, him being involved. I was kind of concerned with him because he did get hurt at the end of the first half. I don't think a lot of people noticed it, and he grabbed his ankle, and we didn't see much of him in the second half. But then when he made a big, solid play at the end of the fourth, it's like, okay, he's healthy, he's good to go. And then Tyreek, he didn't have a crazy game, which was really weird because he still had 2 touchdowns, I think 79 yards. A receiver that beat him out today was actually a running back, and it was Darrell Williams. And it's what we mention all the time. If KC can't find the deep passes and deep routes, you got to go with the screen passes, and Darrell Williams fulfilled that like crazy, like really well. I think he had 7 targets. He caught all of them, and then that crazy one in the end zone, which I wish Hardman would have made the play before because it almost cost an interception. I want a Hardman to jump and make a play, but Williams on the next play, he made the play. He made the play a wide receiver needs to make for a touchdown. One-on-one, you got to box out the DB and make the catch, and it's crazy that a running back like his stature, how bulky he is, like I want to say he's got to be over 240, and him to get up like that was crazy to see. But one thing I really love to see, which a lot of people won't notice as well, was the last touchdown when it went to Pringle. It's what they needed to do because to prove your back, to prove like, hey, it's not no time to put the foot on the brake, keep the pedal to the metal, all gas, no brake, was go for it. Like they could have easily settled. They could have went run in a field goal, but Coach Reed was like, nope, we're going to get this touchdown. We're going to show that, hey, we are completely back. And Mahomes throwing 5 touchdowns was something we've been waiting to see for a while. But also, too, to go back to, keeping your foot on the gas is that fake punt as well. Because that comes off of a Daniel Sorensen interception, which I will give it to him this week. Anyone could have had that. Honestly, Thornhill probably would have ruined his moment. But I will give it to him. He came up clutch for a pick. So he is clear for a week. He didn't get burned. He didn't do anything. He came with the pick. He looked happier than ever, honestly. And it's cool to see something like that because these are real humans too as well. He knows he's been struggling this year. And to get a pick and kind of quiet everyone down for a week is probably really relaxing for him to have everyone off his back. But on that next sequence, the Chiefs basically went 3 and out, and it was cool to see Reed be like, no, we didn't just get this turnover for no reason, because honestly, I was just chilling on the couch, and to see Townsend like actually grab the punt and throw it was like, oh, damn, caught me off guard, because we're not used to seeing that. We're used to seeing the punt, let's try to pin them down, and let's have the defense execute again, but you could tell this game was really personal for the Chiefs, because it's back to first. It's like, this was always our division. No one should have thought any otherwise. And I think that's how it's going to be from here on out. At least I hope it is. Because I think they have the meaning of, don't forget we ran the AFC, so the AFCs is are for the keeping. But it's going to be a long haul running because you got Tennessee who's still winning games, and they've had a hard schedule as well, but they're knocking teams off without Derrick Henry. And you still got the Ravens, even though they had a bad loss. The Bills look back to normal, even though it was against the Jets. And it's just wide open. And the team to keep our eyes out for, too, as well, is New England. They also won in big fashion over Cleveland. Like, I had them winning, but I didn't have them winning like that. So this AFC is crazy with your new division leaders. Well, the same, but I'll go through them. You have the Tennessee Titans. You have the Buffalo Bills. You have the Baltimore Ravens. And now the Kansas City Chiefs. And New England is going to be interesting. I might go deeper into a different video since it's a Chiefs instant reaction, but Buffalo, watch out because I don't know. This team, New England, could be something else. But let me know down in the comments below if you think this is like the turning point for this offense. If they can keep it going against Dallas and throughout the season, I would really love to see this team go 7-4 and then into the bye, well rested, and then it's playoff time going into December. That would be a great sight to see. I hope it happens. I hope this just isn't a 1 week thing. We'll see back home at Arrowhead against Dallas. I know it's probably going to be an offense explosion. I know it's going to be a lot to hope the defense can hold Dallas down, but if they do, that defense will be something to be talking about as well because they could be legit. But please do like this video and subscribe to this channel, as I will keep you up to date on all the latest NFL news and rumors and all your instant reactions. And with that, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.